Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Accounts Guru Cool. Learn accounting online. So today we are here with one more content, and in this we are going to discuss about 10 steps to perform fixed asset disposal journal entry. So before you are going to reach to conclude that, you have to do the disposal journal entry in the systems, which steps you need to perform from start to till end to the disposal of that assets in the system, taking into consideration of that impact. So that's all we are going to discuss here. So request all the viewers to be a part of our membership to get an exclusive benefits from there. In addition to that, you are able to get a scoop to ask us to create a content as per your requirement, as per your need. In addition to that, if you guys are looking for any sort of training related to accounting and finance, you can connect with us on our email ID accounts.gurucool@yahoo.com for exclusive hands-on training that drives results. We'll jump towards that to know more about that, which 10 steps do we have to perform fixed asset disposal journal entry. The fixed asset accounting process. So quickly, we just go through with that. What's the fixed asset accounting process? The fixed asset accounting process includes several key steps. That's the first is going to be the acquisition of that asset, recording the purchase of a fixed assets, including its initial cost and any related expenses such as installations or transportation fees. When we are acquiring any asset, so considering that assets, whatever the purchase cost of that assets plus all initial cost, that's any related expenses such as installation or transportation fees, we have to add that in the cost of that asset, gross value of that asset. So any expenses which we incur to till make that asset as a ready for capitalizations, we have to add in gross block of that assets. Second, depreciations. Allocating the cost of fixed assets over its useful life through depreciation expense, which reflects the gradual wear and tear or obsolescence of the asset. Disposal. So we are going to discuss more about the disposal. Removing of fixed assets from the company's records due to sale, retirement, or other forms of dispositions. Here, if we purchase any assets, we have done the capitalization for that, and after done the capitalizations, before going to end of the life of that assets, we decided to do the disposal of that assets, and there might be the different reasons for that. If you are going to do the sale, if you want to do the scrap of that assets, or if that asset is accidentally damaged, then what's the reason of that? Based on, we are going to do the disposal of that. Now, if that's the scenario, then which 10 steps you have to perform to fix asset disposal journal entry? That's we are going to discuss here. So before going to see what steps we have, again, you have to ask the question to yourselves, what you are going to follow when you have to do the disposal of the asset. So the question is in front of you, and you have to visualize in your mind how you are going to do the disposal of assets. What are all the precautions you are going to do? How you are going to know that either through the disposal, assuming that you are doing the sale of that assets down the line of the completion of the half life of that assets, whatever you have considered in the books of account, then how you are going to treat for that? Either you are going to earn the profit on that, either you are going to have the loss on that. How you are going to do that? So you have to start to visualize. Okay, so if I'm going to do the disposal of the assets or sale of that assets, I just need to know that what's my WDV as on that date. That's a written down value. Either I have charged depreciation till now. Okay, then which date I'm going to decide as a disposal date. Till that date, I have to charge the depreciation on that. Then what I'm going to do is that, so accumulated depreciation I have to transfer towards the gross block of the assets to know that what's my WDV. exactly presenting from that asset group, then either I am going to seal, I have the seal on more on that WDV or less on that. If it's more on that, I have the gain on that sale of assets. If it's less than that, I have the loss on the sale of assets. Then I need to take the entry for that in the systems. And then finally, I need to take the entry for sale of the assets and when it's going to be received the amount, receipt application of the assets. Plus, I have to remove that assets from the assets register. So these are all going to be the, you can say, the basic concepts, and these are all going to be the foundation towards the each and everything, and that's the uh, you can see the magic for us to do the focus for each and everything. So we have to keep thinking and we have to first go through with the basic concepts how it's going to be, and based on that then we have to see how exactly it's going to be, either as per what we have visualized, that's the way, or any additions over there, or we are interpreting totally different. So we have to do the focus first towards the fundamental things, how that asset is going to dispose. Now if you see here, 10 steps to perform fixed asset disposal journal entry. Identify the disposed asset. This is going to be the first thing, to identify which assets you are going to do the dispose. Okay, that's the one thing. Next, calculate the carrying value. It means do the calculation towards that to know what's the WDV for that asset, written down value of that assets. And once you know, then record the disposal date when you are going to do the disposal of that asset. How you're going to calculate the carrying value? That's going to be your gross block less accumulated depreciation equal to your carrying value of that assets. Next, record the disposal date, on which date you are going to do the disposal of that assets. And the fourth, adjust accumulated depreciations. Once you decided what's the disposal date, then you have to adjust the accumulated depreciation towards that. You have to transfer the accumulated depreciations towards that asset. Then update fixed asset account. So if you have the 1 lakh as in your assets value, that's a gross block, and you have charged the depreciation, accumulated depreciation is 50K, then this 50K, if you reduce from that 1 lakh, you are going to have the WDV, that's a 50K. That you have to do the update the fixed asset account by transferring your accumulated depreciation towards your asset. You are able to get to know how much is the exact value towards the fixed assets. Once that's done, then you need to do the further calculations. What's your sale value of that assets? What's the disposal value of that assets? If that value of the asset is more than that, assuming what the example we have considered here is that 1 lakh is my gross block, 50,000 is charged depreciations. So my WDB is 50,000. Now, if I'm going to do the sale more on that, if my sale value or disposal value through that disposal, if I'm going to earn 55K, it means I have the gain on that sale of asset, that's a 5K. If my disposal value is 45K, but my WDV is 50K, it means I have the loss on disposal, that's a 5K. So we have to do that calculations. And once this calculation is done, we have to record in the books of account, either we have the gain or we have the loss on that disposal of assets. Complete the journal entry in the systems, then do the review and verify all the calculations. Says that key identify the disposal assets, that's the correct one. What's the WDV? Calculate the carrying value. What's the recorded date for disposal? Adjust accumulated depreciations, then update fixed asset account, and then calculate the gain loss on disposal, record gain loss, complete the journal entry. So we need to do the review from 1 to 8 of all the process with backup docs, and then we have to document the transactions. That's going to be the conclude that yes, we have done the disposal for that, and we have to remove that assets from our fixed asset register. So that's the way you have to follow the 10 steps to perform fixed asset disposal journal entry. You have to go through with this all these 10 steps to have the journal entries in the system. So that's all from this 10 steps to perform fixed asset disposal journal entry. Thanks guys once again for being with us, and request all the members to start to like, share, and ask us to create a content as per your requirement, as per your need, and leverage this membership to enhance your skills related to accounting and finance. If you guys are looking for any sort of training related to accounting and finance, you have to connect with us on our email ID accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com for exclusive hands-on training that drives results. Thank you.